Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's time for some more Workers and Resources, after a bit of a longer time skip than anticipated. But the oil field is kind of almost done. Kind of. There's still construction ongoing. But I ended up with a lot of money in 1941, and I don't know why. Probably there was a, whatever you would call it. Last year, -1, yeah. There was probably some price spike on like clothes or something. And so as you can see, I just printed a ton of money for like half the year. The loan is more or less paid down. I put a little extra money into it just to try and get it. We have 84,000 in reserve. And not only have I managed to complete this fairly capital-intensive project, I mean, holy shit, steel is expensive. And it turns out pipelines, they're mostly steel. And what isn't steel is freaking mechanical components, so it's just even more expensive. But I've allowed our track builder to get to work, and it has done a fair bit of development on our railway tracks. And I've even managed to give the go-ahead on the radio station project. You know, I estimated this was going to cost me an arm and a leg. And then it turns out I had a spare arm and a leg hanging around. I'm like, hey, what if I just let this build? And so I did. You know, I mused it, but I did not anticipate actually having enough money to get this thing running. But we are at the point where it's almost time to plug in. No, I think I need a priority switch, right? Yes. I think I do. I either need a priority switch or a regular switch. I'm trying to think because, well, no, I think it will be fine. Worst case scenario, I can have my priority switch feed into a regular switch, and it should be fine. We've researched modern electric pylons, so we can use the 15 megawatt wires, which is delightful. I was worried we were really going to have to downgrade using the 8 megawatt wires. I am oh so pleased that I managed to play during that time where there was a bug, and the 14 megawatt pylon was usable. Alright, full whatever power is needed, just buy it. Deconstruct these because, truth be told, they just need to be dirt road. Alright. Alright. Yeah. So this will be the last sort of key piece that we need. Actually, probably the center one here. Perfect. And that's everything we need. You'll need to set up a friggin' transport line for foreign workers for the fire station from Chemisill, but that'll be about it. Now, with any luck, there's not a ton more left to actually purchase for this radio station, so our remaining capital should all just kind of go into the oil field. Which is ideal. Yeah, there's only 3.9 tons of steel left, and bricks and boards are cheap enough that shouldn't be a problem. Now, the radio station is actually a big deal. I hope I have enough power for it. We'll see. I might have to run an additional line for it, but that's fine. You know? I'm actually doing okay. You're only using half a watt. Half a megawatt, that's not bad. Okay, good. Good. In that case, we probably won't need one. Oh yeah, another bus of workers. about a bus of steel, a bus of boards, a bus of bricks? Running out of all of it. But yeah. So I am going to assign this stuff to be a higher priority. Because I do want the oil field up and running faster than I want the radio station. You know? The radio station is almost done. It'll be fine. Get the steel delivered to the cabling. This thing's got, let's see, 2 Gaganess, 3 Gaganess. It's got, oh, 4 Gaganess. Goddamn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks coming. Loaded. There's the last of the steel. So that's good. So yeah, they're actually choked out on steel right now. And there comes another load of bricks. Alright. But yeah, no, we're investing a lot into construction, and it shows with, you know, my balance being what it is. But since we're kind of coming up on the end of it, it's pretty good, I'd say anyway. Alright. Clearly don't need any additional workers from outside the CO. Goddamn. Alright, that's it now. We need 18 tons of bricks. There's 4 tons there. There's another 4 tons there. And yeah, those 2 will be the last brick carriers. Alright, the Lubin radio station is just about done. Perfect. So the radio station is going to be very important and very useful for us. Here's the thing. If I go and have a look at our average factory worker right now, you know, he's got a productivity of 70 to 80%, which isn't bad by any means. Actually, all things considered, that's pretty good. I expected that to be a little bit lower even. Oh wow, we got some in the low 80s. But with radio, we can get that to 100 to 110%. Like, our factory workers are just going to be more productive because we have propaganda on the radio. And that's important. Okay. I've also been slowly working through researches. Yeah, bauxite exploration study. I had a couple years to kill after all while we built up everything. So now we have the ability to build our steel mill. Ain't that nice? Let's see. What else did I get? Engineering? Yeah, basic mechanical components. And also the electronics assembly. When I saw the other day that electronics here can be built out of boards instead of like plastic, it was wild. Like gravel and steel here. Like, we can get electronics going pretty good. It's not a great rate of return, but all things considered, instead of using the plastic, although honestly plastic may not be as large of a problem as I expect it to be, at least in the later game. I guess that's maybe part of the advantage. I can switch over to the stuff, the more efficient stuff later. Since my guess is that I am going to have pretty sizable access to plastic given my oil field here. Actual refining seems like it should be doable. I've got the export pipeline on low priority construction right now because, to be blunt, I don't really care how quickly it builds, and I'm fine with it falling behind. The reality of it is I have 3,000 tons of capacity, so there's a pretty solid buffer before it'll be full. And so we can sell a lot of the oil pipeline, or the oil fields production, without any issue. And I guess now you do actually need workers eventually. Alright. Cool. Let's open you to workers from outside the CO to finish. It's time. The radio station is ready. Honestly, not bad for a republic our size to actually get the radio station going. I don't know, I guess we aren't that small anymore. We're up to like 3,400 people. Honestly, that's still a little small for a radio station. Usually I think it's 6,000 or so. Might be small, but making good use of it. Good use of what we got. Probably going to want to expand Lubin further anyway. I'm kind of thinking I want to get rid of this train platform. Yeah. I wonder. So, one of the ways I could connect things up perhaps a little easier is with a pedestrian overpass. How tall are these buildings? Okay, I feel like the answer is infinite, right? Okay. We'll scratch that plan, huh? There is, of course, an alternative. Rather than going over something, we can go under it. Yes. Honestly, this might be a solid plan even over here. Just build a bit of a, like, pedestrian underpass network. If I can manage it. The dots are green. Well, they were anyway. It's probably, I don't know, I was gonna say, maybe there was a thing there, but no. Goddamn. I'm trying to find a spot for this is gonna be tough. But that might be a solid way I can kind of connect up Lubin better, I'm thinking. And if I just connect it there and then maybe start paving this road, that might also do it. Yeah. Because I can just kind of get all of them on this station and going to the factories. Oh, good. They aren't super loyal, so we'll just have to do a 70-30 split, I think. That'll do. So this will bump happiness up a little bit too. And just a little bit of government loyalty. That's what we need. And making a little bit of money. 22 tons of steel, another 10 tons of steel. Start delivering steel to here. It's low priority. It doesn't even take that much. It just takes like 2,000 work days. More than anything. But oh well. This will get done in short order, I'm sure. Turns out this thing's actually alright. Like, currently it's 46% connected, so we can keep using it without any additional stuff for now. Cranes on the work site. Cranes have this pretty well garrisoned, it looks like. Workers to the substation up here. Sure. Actually, that one's medium priority. Move that to low. Although I think currently we only have high and low priority. The medium priority was the radio station, and that's done. But yeah, just that little bit now. We're going to see everyone kind of end up with more loyalty overall. And as loyalty overall increases, like the effectiveness of this will increase as well. A lot of the game kind of works on feedback loops, and so it's important to get the feedback loops started in your favor, you know? We nearly fell apart when Kelm's feedback loop in Prime just about broke the bloody city. Which, by the way, Kelm still has not seemingly recovered from. Like, I'm going to reduce the staffing again, so it's 5 and 10, so it's the same as, like, this police station. But here's the thing, this Lubin has more people, and this police station can handle it. This one always seems to just get overwhelmed, because, like, it still has not recovered from the criminality. To be fair, I feel like it does take a long time to recover a lot of things, like these are finally into the 90s again. You know. Current audience, we've got about 100 people listening at any given point in time. Alright. You good? Yeah. But yeah, then we'll probably roll back to this train platform and line. Good. Unfortunately, something I've realized is when using the train, I'm going to have to have a multi-track setup. There's no way I'm not getting around it with this one. You know? Like, which includes a new set of bridges and all. Unfortunately. Perfect. We'll probably need to switch for the clover leaf there, but that's fine. There. Improved. Although there's not really any way you can get to it right now. Yep. We'll figure it out eventually. Or no. I guess I'm going to do the smart thing and put on the interchange that should exist there. Same here. Good. So yeah, we can continue that development. 30,000, yeah. The extra imports are all steel. Now, fucking Christ. Better not need another bridge loan. We're getting closer to a lot of this being built though, and I think the imports are mostly at their end. I guess not, because there's still like the foreign pipeline connection. We're still just importing fuckloads of steel. And that's it. You know? Just more and more steel. Might need to relax a bit. It's also worth noting that I did just pull a bunch of people from the industrial core, so our money may not come in quite as much. So I'm going to relax the railway building for now. I think that is the correct call. Should slow down my money bleed a little bit. I'm actually wagering right now I'm not even profitable because of pulling, 75 workers from the industrial core. But we need to get this stuff finished, so not much we can do really. Nope. Okay, let's 200,000 for 1 year. Should be fine. I hope. Damn. Might have to amalgamate it into a new loan later, but we'll see. Oh, research program finished. Cool. Bauxite. Alright. Slowly working our way through a lot. Maybe advanced engineering, plastics. Is there an old-timey plastics factory? Nope. I'm gonna go with advanced engineering. We'll see. What do we got for bauxite? Ah, yes, we have some bauxite over here on the Czech border, and that seems like it's about it. In this mountain here. Oh no, it's actually in this field. That's really good. Alright. Is there coal over here? Hell yeah, there is. Alright. Because that's most of what we need to actually produce aluminum. That and tons of power. Which coal also conveniently counts as. Alright. So not bad. That unfortunately is pretty far and will likely be a long in the future industry, Alright, 92 days, 44 days, we're just a couple truckloads off. A couple bus, you guys getting their bus loads out. Still 61 tons of steel for the pipeline, and then I think actually maybe it's done. Are you fully? Yep. It's getting there. Like I said, the oil field is coming online. Okay. Look at that. It's pumping. It has like 5 frames of animation, but it is pumping. Does it smooth out if I slow down a bit? Yes, but only because everything else is slower. So yeah, we've got our first setup here. Good. Alright. It's just what we wanted to see. Now. Okay, so that's got that there. Pump the second best black liquid after coffee. Fair enough. Actually, I guess the one I start with when I'm placing these is going to be the pump jacks. I need to know how far out these pump jacks need to go. Alright, I guess I have no free excavators out here, huh? You know? Let's fix that. Yes, guess I'm maxed out on free construction offices. Fair enough. Might be time to pull some more out of here anyway. Okay, these crappy AMO 15s, I'm done with them. Okay, you've got a pair of Diagonals. Get rid of you. Because those dumpers are just terrible. Let's be real. These do not carry enough. Anyway. Yeah, we move one of our free construction offices out here. Alright, so as far as like bulldozers go, we do have a bulldozer 20, excavator 21. Fair enough. Of course, I feel like the real prize is, yeah. Like, the fact that this can do both in one is too good to pass up. Even if it does take basically 1,000,000 years to arrive. Yeah, yeah. Worth. I'm going to need to set the fire system here as well. Yeah, we'll need the gas AA. We'll get 2. This place is likely going to be fairly fire prone. Alright, so that's the last of the steel. It's just work days for this place now. Fair enough. Alright. That ain't bad. So it'll take 1,000,000 years for our excavators to arrive before we can truly start expanding the oil field, but that's okay. I might be able to get some other expansion in as well if I look around carefully. Hill causing construction shit. Alright. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, let's continue to expand our oil field. We are always going to need to. God, this tiny ass pipeline still isn't even done. 230 work days, 439 work days, 900 work days. Yeah, there's still a lot before it'll be ready. You know? There's still quite a lot. I'm trying to think, like, what's the best structure to do this in? I think this one might just be direct fed by 2. Yeah, just get a little more spacing. That's fine. Call this sort of the center line. Yeah. in. And put this one along the ground. I think 9 meters goes over, yep. Don't need to make it underground. But yeah, from now that we've got most of like the basic infrastructure in place, you know, that one's out of electrical range. I'll spend that for now then. And that pipeline. But now that we've got most of the basic electrical infrastructure and, you know, the fire trucks and everything else in place, expanding the oil field from here is actually very easy. Now, conveniently, I should have a gaggle of Gaganows ready to go. Alright, I'm probably gonna need a refueling depot out here as well. So we'll get that hooked in. How is our refueling network doing, by the way? I assume fine. Yeah, looks like it does. Yeah, if there's 2 trucks sitting idle, then it's doing fine. It does literally just pump around in a circle, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly how much I have in capacity. But that was never really the intent. It was never meant to find out how much I've got in capacity. So, 250-ish. Yeah, we aren't even at 10% capacity yet. So we've got more than enough time to get this place built up. We just failed to deliver workers. Fair enough, it's pretty much 11 hours to get out here. Sometimes the workers may not make it if there's traffic. And stuff. Still, it'll be good to get more of these online. So few left. Alright. Yeah. The cargo's here. There. The pump jacks are pretty easy going. Oh, this place has got fuel stock. Good. Yeah, I love that. I love actually being able to refuel out here. Yeah. We are at 10% of our capacity for oil. Planning. So how you guys doing? Productivity is the same range right now. Like I said, it's going to be a while before the radio really can do its work. Already, it immediately starts to get overwhelmed here. Stuff. Alright. But yeah, once we have the oil pipeline up and running, should be good. Because I've also done the OPEC research now, because, you know, I had like 2 years. So that means, if memory serves, that the price of oil exports should actually be decent. Holy shit, 78 rubles. Damn. Oil is expensive, yo. Fuel is horrifyingly expensive. Yeah. We need to get this pipeline hooked up. This is going to be a massive cash cow. 78 rubles a ton already. Holy fuck. Alright. Let's go get the shit hooked up. Let's get in there. Slow and steady and all that. We're gonna find out just it's kind of concerning that it's like 6 hours already done. I feel like I'm gonna need 4 trucks doing round trips, you know? To have constant firefighter coverage, which isn't great. On the other hand, where else am I gonna be getting firefighters from? Ideally, I could, like, get faster fire trucks, but I'll need to look up when that happens, you know? $1958? I feel like we're just gonna have the oil field burnt down sometimes, and there's nothing I can do about it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we're getting most of these pipelines done. Mm-hmm. 544 work days there. So, not bad. We're looking at 1,000 work days to complete those projects, plus this. So, 1,000 work days is separating us from actually having this oil export. I'm actually starting to get antsy and want the export to happen. You know? It's just taking longer than I anticipated, but that's okay. I've gotta have patience. Let's level up for that pump jack. Good. Yep. All the pipelines are done. Gotta build those pump jacks and they're good to go. Oh, I guess this pipeline's still under construction. Okay, got a Gaggenau coming with that. Gaggenau coming to that. And a Gaggenau and an AMO coming to this. Good. Get it done. Like, we're at 1/7 to 1/6 capacity currently, so I guess that's the thing. Eventually I will fill up my capacity. So I can't afford to keep ignoring it. All of my construction site centers should actually, I can call up the additional ones. I should make sure too. Do I have you 3 in? Good. Okay. So how goes the Rooston, their long ass trip over here? You know what? They're making good time. They can take the southern road since we are now technically connected to it, which is handy. And they'll let me do terraforming in this area. And I can put a Gaggenau in there. And we'll see. We'll see. I'll likely need to do something because I think most of the oil fields actually in the... Can I set a custom value above 3,500? No. So I'll probably need to do like a reconstruction and set up over here as well to service that area. I need to keep in mind the ranges of my construction office for rebuilding buildings. Good. We have actually made money. Yeah. We've been making money because we are no longer that aggressively debt, and we're paying that down. We'll keep the loan for now, but it might pay it off soon in the future. Alright, only 90 odd work days. 110 work days. 330 work days. Alright, 500. So we're down to 900 work days before we can export oil. Good. But yeah, no. Becoming a petro state is apparently going to be ginormously good for us. I still can't fucking believe that. Like, it's absurd. You know? Like, where is it? Oh, it's not resource movement. Oh yeah, current prices. The price of raw oil on the market right now. Damn, we're actually in a slump, but still. God, if I could be shooting it out for over 100 would be absurd. it's got 3 Gaganouts. Good. This might actually get done. This electric substation will also need to be hooked up, but that's fine. Let's not do that. Delete that mess. Let's maybe keep it somewhat organized. Somehow the most organized part of my goddamn nation is its oil field. Most of the work there is now done. Yeah, there's not much left now. And eventually the pump jacks. Alright. We're making progress. Very close. I'm going to return what remains of this loan. Good. Ugh. Not too shabby. So over the next 9-ish months, we need to repay that, which we definitely should be able to. Like, all we need at this point is the oil to actually flow. And we have enough money in there, I think, to repay it right now. Just gotta get it to the world market. 22 work days there. 94, 150. 150. Yeah, so 400, we're at about 420 days. Is it worth setting the radio station loyalist? If I had a more comprehensive secret police network, yes. But you're gonna notice it's actually just slowly improving in general. Because the loyalty of the people that work in the radio station does affect like how much loyalty they give to everyone else, which thankfully is a positive or negative feedback loop, you know? As long as in general my population is loyal, then it feeds back into itself. Which is one of the reasons why it takes a little while before the radio station does this. We could speed that up if I was using the secret police and, you know, set some loyalty minimums. But I've actually more or less decommissioned my secret police. You know? They aren't really necessary at this point, I'd say. I needed them basically as a stopgap at one point to stop a loyalty death spiral that I was concerningly close to having. But that's really the only time I think the secret police are actually all that useful. Sure, I can speed up the rate at which the radio station gets it, but like, I find that to be a lot of investment to do. Especially on a map like this with these villages where, honestly, my secret police will do nothing but sit around and fucking go bug random peasant houses to find out the peasants' loyalty while they're asleep. You can't have like a loyalty score. Oh, good. so... the heating plant's on fire, very well. So... yeah. That'll get done soon. We hope. Not gonna sleep one isn't helpful, that's right. So like, I might at some point boot up the secret police again, but we'll see. Alright, 17 work days. This bus is, I assume, just delivering to them. Oh no. Who's delivering to there? We are almost to oil exports. Still have a decent bit of money. We're paying down our loan pretty aggressively at this point. Yep. It's not too bad. Still have 9 months to repay. Alright, so we got 23 days there, 50 days here. This is now done. So it's good to go. Yeah. 20 days, 20 days, 50 days. Unfortunately now I think it's just getting ignored in favor of everything else or something. Because it doesn't seem like there's anything coming out here. Might be some reconstructions going on in town. Unfortunately, no mechanism arrived for this one, so this won't be enough people. But it gets us most of the way. Gets us most of the way. They're all like one busload off of, except for you. And okay, I guess all the non-pump jacks are one busload off of completion. Okay, well I would like this to actually get done, so I'm out of patience, you know? I'm going to mark this high priority. So now they will transit people here. It's not much at this point, you know? Not asking for a ton. Alright, well, pump jack number 3 is at least starting up. Stuff. Ammo 15 Megaga now. Perfect. All right. So, all of the transport's happening. That will finish the oil export pipeline. Which is good, because like I said, we've got a ton locked up here at this point. Like, we're looking at 50 tons there, so 800 tons. At even 70 rubles a ton. Like, that is like 60,000 rubles. This oil field is already produced and is just waiting to be sold. You know? It's nuts. So this engine, technically, I can shut off. Because this is the tank that we use to send oil in, so only one of these engines ever technically needs to be functional, so we should probably do so. There we are, 850 tons, how much was floating around. Yeah, no. I mean, from here, like, the expansion of the oil field is all we really need. Unfortunately, if memory should serve, these guys do produce pollution, right? You know, 4 tons a year. It might be... I'm trying to think if it's possible to have, like, a town here, but I'm going to go with no. Like, I might be able to use a bit of Zamosk. But we're going to go with probably not. God damn, this video has already been an hour long, and I was really hoping we would have our first bit of export done. Like, took a little longer than I would have liked. Well, that pipeline's done. The medium voltage wires are now done. Here it comes. The bus that gets us oil. Or, well, the bus that will let us export oil, I should say. The last piece of infrastructure. Actually, wait, is it? Yes, that's done, okay. Alright. Countdown to oil. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, and we're done. Good. Blub, blub. Just imports are cranking. Or exports. It took a long pipe to get here. Yeah, that has been the motto of this fucking republic. It took a long pipe to get here. You know? In so many goddamn ways. Alright. And so that pays off all of our remaining debt. And hopefully in the near future, this pumping station will be completed. There's at least a Gaggenau on the way. And that's what's important. Alright. Many fires, but surprisingly none in the oil field yet. Now this one's on. So we're gonna have like 30 tons of oil built up. pumping station goes. Alright. Well, we are now financially independent. Unfortunately, I think the price of oil is the lowest it has been in a long time. Goddamn. Oil, yeah. Down to 64 for selling. Yeah, shame we didn't get it during 1942 there. Oh well. How are we doing in comparison to, like, averages? Actually, even by the average, the lowest oil price we have had outside of, like, these rando shocks in 4 years, 5 years even. Oh well. Even now, this is still horrendously profitable, so I can't say no to it. And, like, it shows. To be fair, technically, I've exported 1,000 oil this month. So next month will be kind of the actual guess on how much we are getting off this project. And given that this project, like, had a fairly high upfront cost, like, you know, getting all the pipeline together and shit, and now actually just expanding is pretty limited. Hang on, I can go to production resources. Alright. The answer is, this month, I have produced 425 and climbing tons of oil. So this is a solid 30 grand a month. Just not too bad. Not too bad at all. And that's just with this oil field already just being so small. Like, if I expand it to its full capacity, we're looking at 6 figures a month pretty easily. You know? It is nice being an oil baron, I agree, Nix. Alright. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I'm going to cut the episode here. Thank you everyone for watching. I've been Neverly Skeleton, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, folks. Have a good night.